Have you ever wondered how the timeless wisdom of the Psalms could shield you from harm and open doors to financial blessings? The Psalms are more than poetic hymns. They are divine keys for protection, prosperity, and a deeper connection with God. Through these ancient prayers, believers have experienced miraculous breakthroughs in their lives, protection in times of danger, and provision in seasons of lack. Welcome to Uplifting Bible Verses. The Psalms hold a unique place in our faith. They reflect the trials and triumphs of life, teaching us how to turn to God in every situation. Today, we'll explore 20 of the most powerful Psalms, ones that can strengthen your faith for protection and finances. The Psalms, written primarily by King David and other inspired authors, were originally sung in worship by the Israelites. These songs provided comfort during hardship, guidance during uncertainty, and celebration during victory. For centuries, people across faith traditions have turned to the Psalms for their rich spiritual insights, using them as prayers for daily life. As we delve into these powerful Psalms, you'll see how their words remain relevant. They serve as prayers and declarations that can invite divine intervention in protecting your family, unlocking financial doors, and bringing you peace. And so, without further ado, let's dive right in. Psalms for blessings and provision. Psalm 23, verse 1 to 4. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23 is a profound declaration of God's providence and protection. The imagery of a shepherd reflects God's care, ensuring that we lack nothing. Even in the darkest valleys, metaphors for trials or financial struggles, this psalm assures us of God's presence and guidance. This psalm also speaks to divine provision, describing green pastures and still waters. It encourages us to trust God fully for our protection and financial needs. When recited with faith, it aligns our hearts with God's promises of security and abundance. Psalm 34, verse 10. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing. This verse highlights the faithfulness of God to provide for those who seek Him. Even in scarcity, God ensures His children are not left wanting. Seeking Him means aligning our lives with His will. It also encourages us to develop a deep trust in God's timing and provision. Financial struggles may come, but this psalm assures us that God is always aware of our needs and will provide in His perfect way. Psalm 37, verse 25. I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. This verse reflects King David's testimony of God's faithfulness. The righteous, those who live in obedience to God, are never left without provision. God is the ultimate provider. His benevolence stretches over the entire world, but He has a special place in His heart for those who are His sheep, His true children. The blessings of God transcends generations, and even the psalmist here was quick to point out that the seed of the righteous will not suffer. This encourages us to live righteously, trusting in God's ability to meet our financial needs. This assurance should inspire gratitude and faith as we navigate life's uncertainties. Psalm 112, verse 1 to 3. Praise ye the Lord. Blessed is the man that feareth the Lord, that delighteth greatly in His commandments. His seed shall be mighty upon earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed. Wealth and riches shall be in his house, and his righteousness endureth forever. This psalm connects the fear of the Lord with blessings of wealth and generational prosperity. Righteousness leads to lasting success, showing how financial blessings are rooted in spiritual principles. When we honor God and delight in His word, we position ourselves for His favor. This verse is a powerful reminder that true prosperity comes from aligning with God's will. And God's will for us is to lead a life of righteousness in the advancement of His kingdom. Psalm 145, verse 15 to 16. The eyes of all wait upon Thee, and Thou givest them their meat in due season. Thou openest Thine hand, and satisfiest the desire of every living thing. This psalm celebrates God's provision for all creation. The phrase "in due season" reminds us of God's perfect timing in meeting our needs, whether it be protection or financial provision. His open hand symbolizes generosity, ensuring that no desire aligned with His will goes unmet. For those experiencing financial struggles, this passage is a source of hope and encouragement. It invites us to wait patiently on God, trusting in His ability to provide abundantly at the right time. Psalms for divine help. Psalm 121, verse 1 to 2. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. This psalm is a reminder of God's sovereignty as the Creator who provides help in times of need. Lifting our eyes symbolizes turning away from earthly struggles to fix our gaze on God. By acknowledging God as our source of help, we can face challenges with confidence. This psalm encourages believers to trust not in human solutions, but in God's unfailing ability to provide protection and meet every financial need. Psalm 46, verse 1. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. This psalm reassures us of God's presence in every crisis. Whether the challenges are financial or protective, God remains our safe place. He is our refuge and strength, and He promises to deliver us even in the face of adversity. By relying on Him, we find strength to endure and overcome obstacles. This verse calls us to lean on God rather than fear, knowing He is ever present to help us in our times of need. Psalm 20, verse 1 to 4. The Lord hear thee in the day of trouble. The name of the God of Jacob defend thee. Send thee help from the sanctuary, and strengthen thee out of Zion. Remember all thy offerings, and accept thy burnt sacrifice. Selah. Grant thee according to thine own heart, and fulfill all thy counsel. Psalm 20 is a prayer for divine intervention in times of trouble. It highlights the power of God to defend, help, and strengthen those who call upon Him. The mention of offerings and sacrifices reminds us of the importance of surrendering our desires to God and seeking His will in every endeavor. This psalm is particularly powerful when seeking breakthrough in difficult circumstances, whether it is protection from harm or financial recovery. The promise to fulfill all thy counsel speaks of God's ability to grant success to plans aligned with His purposes. This verse encourages believers to trust God as the ultimate provider and protector. By offering our prayers and actions in faith, we invite His divine support into our lives. Psalms for divine protection. Psalm 91, verse 1 to 4. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Psalm 91 is often called the ultimate psalm of protection. It declares that those who dwell in God's presence are shielded from harm, whether it be physical danger or spiritual attacks. By placing our trust in God, we are assured of His protection. The psalm's vivid imagery of refuge, fortress, and wings reminds us of God's encompassing care. It is a prayer of faith, reminding believers to remain close to God through worship and prayer to experience His divine shelter. Psalm 144, verse 1-2. Blessed be the Lord my strength, which teacheth my hands to war, and my fingers to fight, my goodness and my fortress, my high tower and my deliverer, my shield, and he in whom I trust, who subdueth my people under me. This psalm reflects David's recognition of God as the source of his strength and protection. It teaches us that God equips us for battles, whether spiritual or financial, and provides the tools we need to overcome challenges. The imagery of God as a fortress and shield highlights His role as a defender against harm. When applied to financial struggles, this verse reassures us that God will empower us to navigate difficulties and achieve victory. Psalm 27, verse 1-3. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even mine enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though an host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident. This psalm is a bold declaration of confidence in God's protection. It reassures us that no matter how threatening our enemies or challenges may seem, God's light and salvation will sustain us. Financial struggles or threats to our safety can feel overwhelming, but this passage reminds us to stand firm in faith, knowing God is greater than our circumstances. David's confidence in this psalm inspires us to overcome fear and anxiety. It teaches us that trusting in God's strength enables us to remain calm and courageous even when surrounded by challenges. Reciting this psalm strengthens our resolve and reinforces our reliance on God's unwavering power. Psalm 103, verse 2-5. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all His benefits, who forgiveth all thine iniquities, who healeth all thy diseases, who redeemeth thy life from destruction, who crowneth thee with loving kindness and tender mercies, who satisfieth thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like the eagles. Psalm 103 is a celebration of God's goodness and provision. It begins with a call to remember God's blessings, from forgiveness to healing and redemption. The phrase, satisfieth thy mouth with good things, speaks directly to financial provision and sustenance, while the renewal of youth symbolizes revitalized hope and strength. This passage reminds us that God's blessings are comprehensive, addressing both physical and spiritual needs. By reflecting on His benefits, we cultivate gratitude, which strengthens our faith and keeps us focused on His ability to provide in every area of our lives. Psalms of Thanksgiving. Psalm 35, verse 27. Let them shout for joy and be glad that favor my righteous cause. Yea, let them say continually, let the Lord be magnified, which hath pleasure in the prosperity of His servant. This psalm emphasizes God's delight in the prosperity of His people. It shows that when we align ourselves with His righteous cause, He takes pleasure in blessing us. Financial prosperity is not merely about wealth, but about living in the fullness of God's provision and favor. The call to magnify the Lord reminds us to focus on Him rather than our challenges. When we continually praise God and honor Him with our lives, we open the door for His blessings to flow abundantly. Psalm 9, verse 1. I will praise thee, O Lord, with my whole heart. I will shew forth all thy marvelous works. This verse emphasizes two key aspects of a believer's relationship with God: heartfelt thanksgiving and proclaiming his marvelous works. The phrase, "with all my heart," underscores the importance of sincerity and total devotion in our gratitude. True thanksgiving is not casual or superficial. It flows from the depths of a grateful heart that recognizes God's unwavering faithfulness and provision. By expressing gratitude wholeheartedly, we draw closer to God, acknowledging Him as the source of all blessings and victories in our lives. This sincere thanksgiving strengthens our relationship with Him and fosters a spirit of humility, which is crucial for spiritual growth. The second component, "I will tell of all your wonderful deeds," highlights the importance of sharing God's goodness with others. Testifying about His works magnifies His name, encourages fellow believers, and serves as a witness to those who may not know Him. When we recount His deeds, we honor Him and bring glory to His holy name. Personal experiences and testimonials. Throughout history, many have testified to the power of these psalms in their lives. A struggling single parent prayed Psalm 23 daily and witnessed miraculous provision for her children. A businessman facing bankruptcy meditated on Psalm 112, and doors of opportunity opened. The Word of God remains alive and powerful. Some may wonder how Psalms can influence tangible outcomes like protection or finances. Faith, coupled with action, creates opportunities for God to move. The Psalms are not mere poetry, but powerful declarations that align our spirit with His promises. The Psalms are timeless tools for spiritual empowerment. They teach us to trust God for protection, provision, and peace. In a world filled with uncertainty, their words anchor us in God's unchanging faithfulness. Which psalm has brought you comfort or breakthrough? Share your story in the comments, and don't forget to check out our next video on 20 powerful verses for invoking God's presence. Like if you found value in our video, share to a friend you know who needs encouragement, and subscribe to our channel so you get notified for future posts. Let's continue to grow together in faith and love. God bless you.